Hi guys, it's Lindsay, and today I am taking you with me on quite the ambitious journey, but one that I have been wanting to do for such a long time. And I just moved to LA and I love thrifting, I love clothes, but I haven't really gotten the time to explore all the different places to shop. So I compiled a list of all of my friends' recommendations and I'm gonna be hitting them all up. I made a mapped itinerary. I'm starting from East LA and going more central. So without further ado, let's go. Oh my god! My kombucha just exploded in my bed. That was probably the least ideal thing that could have just happened. Oh my god. I've mentioned this before when it comes to flea markets, but I also still believe it to be true with any vintage shopping. I like to, in my mind, think about the things that I am on the market for. That way when I get there, I'm not overwhelmed, or I'm like, you know, what do I even need? Why do I buy another t-shirt even though I have a million t-shirts? Things I'm really into right now. Cowboy boots. I have a pair of white ones. I would love a pair of black ones, especially really shiny ones. I think that would be super fun. I think black ones I would wear all the time. I am still super into animal print. Y'all know that. We've been new. I love animal print. I wear it all the time. Love tie-dye. It's obviously very in right now, but I still love it. And then I've been really into light green. I don't know why, but I just can't get enough of light green. I think the only other thing would be like shoulder bags, because I have a little tiny black shoulder bag from 9 West that I got for $9 at a thrift store, and I kind of want another one because it is so tiny. I can't fit more than like my phone in my wallet. That's it. And I prefer like bags where I can fit kind of like everything. Now we're on to our first location, which is Sunday's Best Vintage in Echo Park. Let's see if I spend more on my parking than I do at these actual stores, but we have made it to our first location. This is what it looks like from the outside, and the parking in this area is generally pretty bad, so I suggest going either earlier in the morning or just like during the week if you can. I told you guys I was really looking for some tie-dye, and they pulled through. Back from Sunday's Best, I got one item, and that was this tie-dye shirt that I really love. It's like the perfect ugly tie-dye, and I like that it has some faded lettering on it, and I felt great getting it because it was $1. So, you know, yeah, it's a trendy item, but this would be like $50 at Urban Outfitters. So total great find. Review of Sunday's Best. It is huge. They have a ton of stock. There is literally so much to look through, and a lot of it is genuine vintage. They had a very limited purse and shoe area, and I'm not really looking for jeans, but they did have a lot. So if you are in the market for jeans, it's a good place to go. They definitely have a lot of that, but I think the major thing is just that the prices are reasonable. They are low. Everything that I saw was anywhere from $1 to like $6. I didn't see anything over that, so highly recommend. Right now we're in Echo Park. Now we're gonna go to Silver Lake for Babes on Legs, which is actually one of my favorite vintage stores in LA. I've been quite a few times because one of my friends works there, but I had to include it on this list if you've never been, or if you want to hear about more vintage stores, because it is a great one. Just parked at Babes on Legs. A couple things to note about this place. It is across the street from a really popular and delicious primarily brunch restaurant called Squirrel. They also serve lunch as well, but it has a huge cult following, and there's always a 30+ minute line outside. That being said, Babes actually has its own parking, so there's free parking on either side, which is kind of rare, to be quite honest, in this area. So that is a huge plus. It is also easily one of the most aesthetically pleasing vintage stores that I have ever been in. They have an amazing green velvet couch and amazing decor. It is a little bit pricier, but they have some really awesome pieces. So I'm gonna go in, see what I find, but I'm also going to stop myself from spending too much money. This store is definitely smaller than the one we just went to, but their stock changes a lot, and if you follow them on Instagram, you can see when they get new stock, and they'll post on their story different items, so you can like even reply to that and be like, I want that right now. So I like that about them. They're very modern. Okay, we are back from Babes on Legs, and I did in fact buy something. I purchased that really funky Hawaiian print jacket that I at first thought was animal print. I thought it was cow print, and then I realized that it is just a really funky Hawaiian flower print, and I just really liked it, and I don't know why. I love jackets. If anything, I have a problem with jackets, but it's nice and cropped, and I knew I would like it the second I touched it, and it was on the clearance rack, so it was only $20, which is not terrible for a jacket. Like, it's a jacket, you know, it's not a t-shirt. It's really nicely constructed. Saw my pal Shayna. She is the queen of babes on legs. Next on the list, we are going to Squaresville, which is in Los Feliz. So we are changing areas yet again. I've never been to Los Feliz and I've never been to Squaresville, but almost everyone I told I was making this video said, oh, you have to go to Squaresville. So that's where we're going. Made it to Squaresville. I'm in Los Feliz and it is such a cool area. It doesn't feel like LA. It is just very interesting, and I really like it. It's like very residential, but all these stores and places almost seem like old-timey. It's really cool. I found a 1-hour parking spot, but I have to pay it, and this is the first place that I've had to pay for parking, so not really bad considering the other places I didn't. But I also drove by a plant-based burger place, and I'm pretty hungry. I haven't eaten aside from breakfast, and it is now almost 2 p.m. so might have to hit that up before we go shopping. I get it. I completely understand why everyone loves Squaresville now. They have an amazing selection of everything. They have tons of jeans, tons of hats, bags, accessories, shoes. Like, they killed it. So many great t-shirts. I would say the store is very decently priced. It's not necessarily cheap, but it's also not overpriced. There were items in the store like leather jackets and designer pieces that are in the $100 range, but I actually picked up a pair of authentic leather boots for only $27, which is pretty amazing. This is what they look like. I went in looking for cowboy boots and I tried on a pair that were red. They were so cute, but unfortunately the back of the heel was like cracked, and so they were just a lost cause. There was no way that I could make those comfortable even if I tried to get them fixed, but I did end up snagging these because they are super soft and they have a square toe, square heel. The brand is Clanks, which I've never heard of. I assume it's just like a very 90s brand. I'll probably look it up, but yeah, $27. These were totally priced more than that. Like, for authentic leather, these should be like $100 at least. Now the next two places are in West Hollywood on Melrose, and this is where a lot of people, especially tourists, tend to go and shop and eat, and there's the pink wall. It's a little crazy, and so for that reason things can be a little bit pricier. But the first one I'm going to is called Wasteland, and it's a little bit more of a secondhand store, less of a vintage store, but they do still have vintage, so I'm gonna hit it up. We'll see. Maybe I'll find the perfect cowboy boots of my dreams. LA also has some awesome vintage furniture stores, so maybe that'll be next on my agenda, but it's also really intimidating to buy furniture because it's so expensive. Made it to Wasteland. This area is super busy, especially I'm here at 3 p.m. so it tends to be a little crazy around rush hour, obviously everywhere, but I actually did happen to get some neighborhood parking that was free. Otherwise you have to park on Melrose, which is the busy street, and you also have to pay. Had a great time in Wasteland. I ran into a viewer and they have a great selection of everything: shoes, jeans, purses, but a lot of it is expensive. Like, even the t-shirts are like $20. I found a really great tie-dye that was like a light pink and white, but I just couldn't spend $22 on something I spent $1 on earlier today. They had a ton of IMG, ton of UNIF. Like I said, it's definitely more of a secondhand store, but I still enjoyed myself. There was so much to look through. If you are ever hanging out on Melrose, I totally recommend stopping by, but I actually did end up buying one thing, and that is this gorgeous 100% silk scarf from Realization Par. I love everything that I own from Realization, and the second I saw this print, I instantly recognized it. It's super soft, and I know that you can wear this either as a top or in your hair, and I've always loved the look of a scarf top. This also has the embroidered R on it, so you know it's authentic, but I was just trying to look up the original price of these, and I think they were about $70, so getting this for $58 isn't necessarily a huge steal, but they don't sell them anymore, so that makes me feel a bit better about it. But anyways, gonna throw that in my bag and go to our last stop, which is Reconstruct Studio, and it is walking distance from Wasteland on Melrose, and my bag is actually from them, if you notice. So I have been here one time before, and I purchased one of my favorite items in my closet, my green denim jacket. I get questions about where it's from all the time, and I purchased it at Reconstruct. I don't remember this place necessarily being the thriftiest, but I do know that they take old denim, reconstruct it, and make it better. So obviously they're adding value to something that's already pretty valuable. Everything in there is reconstructed. They take vintage, they sew it, tie-dye it, cut it up, maybe sew 2 shirts together. Everything they have is super unique, and for that reason, I really like it. I like the overall style in there. The place is super cool. They have awesome furniture and great art. You know, as a longtime vintage shopper, I know what is worth splurging on, and that is definitely jeans, jackets, things that are sturdy and not going to fall apart. They have an entire room full of vintage t-shirts that are all $80 to $100. A lot of them are super cool, like genuine vintage band tees. They had tons of like Snoopy stuff and Harley Davidson stuff that I really liked, but I just can never validate spending $80 on a t-shirt. So I recommend this place if you are looking for super unique statement pieces that will last a long time. So I did in fact end up splurging on a jacket, but this is a specific kind of jacket that I have had my eye on forever. I think that they are so awesome. I have like 14 flagged on eBay right now that I've been looking at, but when I saw this in person and I felt how soft it was, it's very pillowy, it just instantly was perfect. It has 1 yellow sleeve and 1 red sleeve, which I really liked, and they always have patches and like brands on them, but this one had very minimal ones. I think it has like the gas station and like a couple stars on it because it's Texas. I think it's so awesome and it's so soft. I can't wait to wear this. So with that, those were the 5 vintage thrift stores in LA that I really wanted to go to, and I genuinely had such a great day today just hanging out with myself and with you guys. I took myself out to a burger alone, which I don't do too often, but I'm very comfortable shopping alone, hanging out alone, so it just felt very empowering. I highly recommend doing this yourself or just, you know, getting a burger alone. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye guys!